Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what the hell is up, man? A whole lot of hell is up. And I mean hell, like fire, demonios, Satan, all that shit. I'm kidding. I'm your host, Ed Namrok, with my good old buddy, old pal, or concert buddy, drinking buddy, wrestling buddy, whatever you want to call him.
Wrestling buddy.
Mr. Nuclear Sound himself, Eder Vazquez. What's up, brother?
Hello.
What's up, brother? You
What's
gotta
up,
say,
brother?
you gotta say like Hulk Hogan.
So how's it going, brother? Brother.
You going to Starbucks, brother? It's like, yeah, to get coffee, not cocaine.
Crazy. What is he now? A $10 million wrestler? Thanks to Gawker, who doesn't even have that money.
Dude, that is ridiculous. Like it was over that stupid sex tape, right?
Yeah, well, fucking Gawker fucked up, dude. They shouldn't have posted it.
Well, they blew their wad too quick. I mean, only people like TMZ can get away with that shit. You know that?
Well, you have to ask, you have to ask for permission. You have to have people sign it.
Right. But
like Kim Kardashian and shit like that, like they signed it. No matter what they say, they signed paperwork. They sold it.
Oh God, don't even get me started on that bitch and that family.
Yeah, so everybody who supposedly is a leaked video, except for the fappening, aside from that, everybody signed paperwork,
dude,
or made a deal.
That shit was fire, dude.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Was it Jennifer Lawrence? Was it what's her name? Kate Upton.
Yeah.
Who else? There was the soccer player chick that got in trouble. What's her name? Hope Solo. I think she was in that shit too. But Jennifer Lawrence was like the
I know the
child.
chick that's on the Big Bang Theory.
Oh my God,
was one.
That's ridiculous.
I think another chick that's on, I think Parks and Rec.
Damn, they got them all.
Yeah, they got a bunch of girls just because they didn't know how to protect their stuff.
Yeah, because everyone knows that, and you and I have talked about this before, like the shit that you buy out of the box is not encrypted.
No, people they don't think about it.
Nope. Like everyone that buys a phone, for example, none of that shit is encrypted. Dude, you got to manually go in there and do it.
Security camera for your baby. Fucking change the password, people.
Oh, you heard about that one? Was it? I think it was you were the one that told me about it. That someone actually hacked into the household network and started talking to the parents like, "Hey, I'm watching your child."
Yeah, there was a bunch of leaks of people that didn't have their baby cameras, password protected.
Right.
They didn't change the manufacturer protection.
Right.
So a bunch of hackers just started logging on and, started going onto like baby cameras. And then some of them actually had speakers in them. So you could talk to whoever was on the other end. And, a couple parents caught, their baby camera talking to their baby and crazy shit like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
That is... I don't know how I would feel about that now that I'm a dad. It's like all of a sudden you start hearing that shit. You hear like some Vietnamese dude on the other end.
Well, look, it actually there was one news story that actually was pretty positive.
Yeah,
which was since all these hackers had like nothing to do and just kept watching security cameras.
Right,
they actually saw a babysitter beat a kid and they reported her to the authorities and she got arrested.
Shit, that is a fucking coincidence, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's when hacking goes right.
No shit. I'm like, dude, perfect fucking timing. Like, yeah, this babysitter's beating the shit out of some kid. I think we better do something. Oh man, that sucks for those parents. So like that's what I'm saying. It must suck to hire someone and then later go, what the fuck were we thinking, man? How did we not know? But sometimes you don't know, man. I mean, that's the shit that goes like through the fucking, it slips through the cracks, dude. And you're just like, fuck, man. Like, what happened?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like, I don't have kids, but I have dogs, and I wouldn't trust people just taking care of my dogs.
Dude, but like even dogs, dude. Come on.
Yeah, like I said, I've gone on vacation, and I just don't let anybody, come to my house and feed my dogs.
Fucking feed them poison and shit. You never know that, dude.
Yeah, luckily my husky, at least he can bite back, but still.
God. But a lot of shit this weekend, man, and a lot of shit just probably recent, probably like in the last like 8 hours, dude. But
yeah,
the first thing I wanted to talk about is, you know, WrestleMania. So what was your grade? What did you think about it?
WrestleMania. Well, this is actually my first event since I think the last time I saw any WrestleMania anything was like 2000 something, like 2002 or 3. No, lying. 2004 around there was my last time I saw something.
And for the record, before we jump into nerdiness about wrestling, for all these motherfuckers that'll listen to us right now or later, whatever they want to do and stream it, is yes, we know wrestling is fake. None of the hits are real. We know that. But motherfuckers are over here watching Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, the Kardashians. What's that other show?
Yeah, it's all scripted.
Yes,
it doesn't matter.
It's live fucking soap operas with stuntmen, and it just so happens that Eder and I are a fan of it. I'm not as big a fan I was as you and I probably like in the Attitude Era, or even when Eddie Guerrero was still around.
Yeah, that whole Attitude Era was just insane. Like just the crazy stuff they would do, and
but I heard they go through writers like crazy, dude, like one after the other. Even Freddie Prinze Jr. was, I think, writing for them, dude.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's just like you got on the go. You got to come up with stories. I must imagine how hard that is. You got these big, bulky fucking dudes and beautiful women wrestling. You got to make them shine somehow by giving them a script.
Yeah,
it's like on the go actors, dude, but they're just big and they're professional stuntmen. They're acrobats, dude.
Yeah. So, I heard this guy in the Kevin and Bean show. He was talking about wrestling because he was at WrestleMania, and he said that he actually was a writer for I think like a couple of months. As soon as he got out of UCLA, I think he was student in UCLA. As soon as he got out of there as a writer, he went into WWF. He's like, and it's insane. He's like just writing, you know, fighting words for these people every single week, and you have to come up with new shit every single week for these people to say. He's like, it's insane.
And
he's
their schedules are not like Monday through Friday, dude. Like, okay, if they have a pay-per-view event, like take for example, yesterday was WrestleMania. These wrestlers are known for going all out for this fucking pay-per-view because it's internationally shown.
Yeah.
And today they gotta get up, probably hungover from the fucking night before, and go to Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And then they have SmackDown on Thursday, and I think all the other sub shows like NXT, and back in the day it was ECW.
It was ECW. Yeah, luckily, like the people that went, you know, or at least when I was watching it, the people that wrestled in ECW didn't wrestle in WWE. But and I don't know like any of their schedules. Like all I remember was WWE had Sunday Night Heat, and then it was Raw, and then it was SmackDown, and then back to the cycle again. And if they had a pay-per-view, that would replace, you know, sometimes Sunday Night Heat. But it's just constant. Like luckily, at least like I think it was around the end of the Attitude Era, they started to separate like the wrestlers and not make them fight like every single night, because like I'm going back and like watching through like the archives and stuff like that, and these wrestlers before when it just barely started, like 1998, they would wrestle all 3 days nonstop.
That's fucking brutal, dude. Like,
yeah, dude. Even if you just have one match, you know, and it's a 10-minute match, you know, it's all the shit you have to put up with. You know, no wonder all these guys, you know, got addicted to painkillers, and you know.
Well, I remember was it Brock Lesnar went on record to say that vodka and Vicodin were like, he called it the V&V or some shit like that.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
every show.
The
that's
beautiful
what it was
thing
all
now, or the bad thing now, is that you know, it's so easy for all these wrestlers to get online and, you know, talk about their stories. You know, Stone Cold started a podcast. JR, who was the announcer, started a podcast, and all these wrestlers started coming on, telling their stories. You know, that how every single night they would just be on Vicodin, or you know, just whatever cocktail of painkillers was available.
That's fucking nuts, dude. And then you had a couple people just die, man. Like Eddie Guerrero was coked out, alcohol, painkillers, you name it. The whole. Yeah. I think the only thing he didn't do was needles, and who's to say he wasn't shooting up steroids, because he did get pretty big, pretty fast. Oh yeah, dude.
Everybody was fucking huge. Remember, like everybody in the Attitude Era was just humongous.
And then the whole Chris Benoit story and shit like that.
Of course, the unmentionable.
Anyway, I know we're ranting about all the good old days when everyone's all steroided up, but.
Yeah, but at least for like WrestleMania yesterday, at least from somebody that hasn't watched anything, there were some pretty good points, like good matches. The Undertaker match was really good.
You think that was? Do you think that was the best match of the whole evening, or no?
I mean, I think so. It was a match that kept you entertained the whole time. Because even in the Jericho match, I kind of lost interest a little bit.
I was really disappointed with that match with AJ Styles. Remember, I kind of hyped it up at the beginning. Because the previous matches that they've had, they've been really good.
Yeah,
but this one
didn't
just
they wrestle also in the last event, the one before the WrestleMania?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, what happened? Like, did they run out of moves to perform or what?
Yeah, it's like they just ran out of wrestlers to put in.
And it's like, oh man, but. Yeah, the Undertaker and dude, Shane McMahon is one crazy son of a bitch, man.
He fucking is, dude. He is. And I know you told me, when I was like kind of disappointed that I saw that Shane McMahon was gonna fight Undertaker. You're like, no, remember, he was a fucking tough SOB. And
remember, he did that in front of all three of his kids and his mom, dude, Linda McMahon, right there in the front row.
He is fucking set for life. He has, I think he has like an Asian, Japanese, or I think it is Japanese, publishing company or some crazy shit like that. Yeah. That's worth, millions of dollars. And his kids were there, and he had no fucking, no point, like no reason to be there at all. He's not struggling for money, nothing.
I think the motive behind that was because, and it's ironically, he talked about it before Vince McMahon called the match up. He said that the company was basically in shambles, and he wanted to see the company keep going and flourish. But the way it was going, it wasn't going to happen. So I've heard, you ever watch the movie Beyond the Mat, when they go backstage and really go in depth as to how the business works?
No, I haven't.
Man, you gotta watch it. They cover Mick Foley, they cover Terry Funk, a bunch of shit. And then there's another one with Bret Hart, dude. And the Bret Hart documentary, it's like a movie-ventary, like they're following him. It leads them up to the Montreal Screwjob. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah.
Dude, they caught it live, like in sequence, and supposedly they show the camera him going backstage, and supposedly he came out rubbing his hand, because he had just punched fucking Vince McMahon out, dude. And I'm like, oh man, this is bad, dude. Like, this is a business that not only does it kill you fucking physically, like these wrestlers, a lot of these wrestlers, if they're not hooked on drugs or painkillers, they live to be about maybe, I don't know, 70, 80 years old. But I don't know what quality of life they're living, because they're all fucking fucked up. But
yeah. But I mean, look at Hogan. Hogan lived, you can tell he lived a really fucking rough life, and he's just been, I don't know what he's into now, but he must be.
Him and Macho Man used to do lines of coke before going on air, dude.
Yeah.
And there's videos on YouTube that you search, and they're like, oh man, these guys they're all Tony Montana out, dude.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, but dude, I mean, I know you've never watched one before, but you never watched one in the past, like a WrestleMania, like back in like the late 90s or early 2000s?
Thanks to the WWF network, I've started to go back. Like it's funny because even in some of because I'm finally catching up to where I kind of started watching wrestling when I was a kid. And
when it was called WWF.
Yeah. When it was called WWF.
By the way, you do know why they changed the F to E, right?
Yeah, because
of the World Wildlife Federation.
Yeah, the fucking they sued him and they lost.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, aside from other things that Vince McMahon has lost at, like the XFL, the worst idea ever.
Oh yeah, exactly.
God, they put like live microphones on the players to talk shit. Oh God.
Yeah.
And the back of this guy's jersey, the running back, was "He hate me." I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, dude. This is the worst idea ever.
I remember when that thing came out. I'm like, nobody's going to this.
I was shaking my head watching games go, this is horrible.
Yeah, right.
What is going on, dude?
Yeah, so like going back and you can actually see, like, now that in my adult life I've been around people that are that have been coked out.
Yep.
You can tell these wrestlers are just on some other shit. It's like
they're alcoholics.
They're alcoholics.
Yeah.
They try to play it off as the story, and you're just like, "Fuck, man!" It must be rough, just
dude. And that's just the men. Who knows? Like the divas, the women.
Yeah,
they have more pressure because they got to be beautiful and athletic at the same time. Like for example, yesterday, the Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and what's her name, Becky Lynch match.
Yeah,
the triple threat match. Dude, I kid you not, aside from other matches that I've seen, like with Lita, Trish Stratus, and what's her name, Tori Wilson and all them.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best Divas matches I've ever fucking seen, dude.
Yeah, I caught a little bit.
Dude, Ric Flair's daughter is fucking amazing, dude.
People keep saying that, it was a really good wrestling match and stuff like that. So I went back. I actually skipped it because I hate all the diva stuff. Even though they are chicks, I just hate everything that is around the diva world. And then, like, starting to go back, like even before the show started, I didn't even know this. They got rid of the Divas title, which is, fucking great. They went back to calling it the Women's Championship, which is all right. It's kind of like the struggle that WWE is having right now, trying to stay above ground and, seeing people like what's her name from UFC,
Ronda Rousey,
be successful and come out. So now I think they're starting to, I think WrestleMania was the point where they decided to stop with the nonsense of the divas and go back into also including them as wrestlers, which is cool. I mean, I like that idea. And if they have to start off by getting rid of that ridiculous looking belt that was the divas belt,
it looked like it's fine. A big labia.
I think somebody said it was like the best earring accessory that the women can have.
It is fucking horrible
because it just looked like another accessory. It was ridiculous.
I'm like, why? I was hoping that they would redo it, and the perfect person to introduce it was Lita.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, even though it does look the same as the men's, I mean, they should have come up with a little bit different, look to it, but
it's
whatever.
It's the same concept,
but at least they call it something else.
I understand the equality issue here.
Exactly.
But after last night's match, I can understand why.
Yeah, and the match helped, and okay, so WWE is trying to move away from just having pushing these models into just doing Playboy and Maxim and not really being athletes, which there are actual athletes out there that would like to join, the Wrestling Federation, but they can't, because if they're not models and they're not, stripping or porn or something like that, they're not going to get anywhere.
No, that's where it's all ass backwards, dude. It's like there's plenty of women that are beautiful that can probably do some major damage in the WWE physically. But however, this as well as I do, if your stick game is not on point, the microphone, you're not of value to the company.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah. It's not like UFC, it's not like once in a while they get to see you, or you're, you have to be really successful to get to like at the level that Ronda Rousey's at.
Right.
And, to actually, because like not even Holly Holmes, she was a champion, but she was also the type of person that kept kept to herself.
Yeah, like I even Ronda, like if she were to, or this new champ, Misha Tate,
Yeah.
If either of them were to enter the WWE, they would remotely have a chance at success because they have some type of personality and they're pretty good at talking shit. The only thing is, I think Ronda would probably have a little bit more difficult because she starts to cry when she gets emotional.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Other than that, she's a badass. But Misha, she's fucking ruthless, man. Even though she's lost two fights to Ronda, she's gonna get to fight her a third time this year when Ronda comes back. Dude, you know what she said about Ronda, dude? You know how Ronda had this whole thing, I wanted to commit suicide ever since I lost to Holly Holm, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Misha's like, those are signs of weakness. She said that. Oh, she's too focused on killing herself and having Travis Brown's babies. That's not what a true champion is. A true champion wants to get back up on the saddle and ride the horse into whatever other valley of fucking death they want to go into next. And she's describing herself.
Yeah,
so she basically said, this bitch is weak, I'm gonna take her out.
I love all the shit talk because like and then hearing like all these networks and sports people talk about like, oh, this is what that means, that Ronda decided to commit. So because like after she said that, everybody just blew up. They're like, whoa, she wanted to commit suicide. It's like, bitches, you've never been in the position that she's been at.
No, man, dude. And
UFC I'm not that much of a fan, but you can just tell that the company put so much pressure on her to succeed. And they just, and then also she tried to do everything at once, which was, try to be in movies, try to do, her own thing, do commercials, and then nobody else had ever done
fucking fight.
No woman ever had to do that ever in any single sport, soccer, women's basketball, nothing.
And
nobody.
And you know why they did that? Besides the part of syndication is, okay, one, Dana White is one greedy motherfucker, dude. He is. Yeah. And Brock Lesnar even on an interview said, that Vince McMahon will always be better than Dana White when it comes to any of the marketing, promo, and hyping up a match. And I'm pretty sure Dana White knows that, and he tries so hard to beat this guy out because, dude, how long has UFC been around? Not as long as WWE. Yes, it's two different sports. One's full contact, beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Another one is more of an art. It's a dance.
Right.
It's an acrobat. It's is basically professional gymnastics is what I call it. But the business part behind it, I think Vince McMahon just owns Zuffa, dude, because that's the company that owns UFC. Well, anyway, and the other thing is, I feel like for some reason, when they see potential in someone to make them more money, of course, this goes with any kind of athlete. And I'm talking about UFC in particular right now. They'll press and press and press and press just to get as much fucking syndication, as much press, as much marketing out of the person. But this sport is different, dude. This is Ultimate Fighting Championship. Like, this is real fighting, dude. Just with set rules.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
so, fucking Ronda, even though she's won her fights really quick, her body still takes a toll, dude.
Yeah, and it's also a completely different mentality because like I think that as a wrestler, if you're trying to get into like the WWE, you go with the mentality that you're, I don't know, that you're kind of gonna like not half-ass it, but it's not gonna be, all real. It's not 100% real.
You basically have to learn a new dance routine that is not as aggressive.
Exactly that.
You have to make it.
It's not as aggressive. You're not gonna have somebody beat the shit out of you. If you knock out you're not gonna have somebody jump on you and beat the shit out of you.
Right.
You know,
but
while
you
you're
do
knocked
have
out.
to learn how to fucking fall.
Yeah,
dude.
you need to know how to fall. You need to know how to take a chair. You know, but you go with that mentality of like, okay, there's that perspective, and there's also I have to be able to promote myself in a microphone.
Yep,
because
exactly.
it's, you know, I have to do, you know, these stupid sketches that sometimes I don't agree with, you know, and we've seen it, you know, we've seen all sorts of stupid storylines that, you know, WWF has thrown at wrestlers, you know.
Yeah, like yesterday, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, exactly. The Roman Reigns shit, and
belt? Like,
everybody
God,
fucking hates him, and they still trying to feed it down.
They were booing him today on Raw.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, like it's now is WWE really, like, do they know what they're doing? Because also, I know I also heard it
no.
from
They're kind of desperate right now.
I also heard it from the guy that I said he was on the Kevin and Bean show. I can't remember his name.
Right.
I wish I would have pulled it up. He said that as a writer, they would have this thing where it's either a good press or I would say like a good hate or a bad hate, because people hate him. People hate Roman Reigns, but does that make you want to watch it more so you can see this guy fail? Like, is that helping get more viewers just because people hate him so much that you want to see this guy fail? You know?
Well, I mean, that's what they were. What's a good example?
Because I mean, got me.
Kurt Angle, when he first won the belt,
right?
Everyone hated him.
Yeah,
that's like, dude, and they kept watching because they're like, okay, this guy is a true Olympian. Let's see who's gonna beat him. And it wound up being, I think it was Brock Lesnar that beat him or something. Mm-hmm. And that was a whole different like example. When it came to, because he wasn't a heel and he wasn't a good guy. He was just annoying.
Yeah.
But take, for example, now Roman Reigns. I don't know what he is. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
From what I've seen, they try to push him as a good guy. And
I don't think that's a style, dude.
But that's not the thing, because like, you know, this whole thing with Triple H, I haven't seen a lot of it, but just from what I kind of have seen, that this whole, you know, rivalry against Triple H and Stephanie have always been the bad guys because they're company, you know. It's like the old Stone Cold fucking story, you know.
With
Stone Cold against McMahon. Yeah, he's, you know, this rookie against the company and shit like that, and that's what Roman Reigns trying to be right now. But the problem is everybody fucking hates him. But you want to see him fail. Like yesterday, I stuck around to the last match. The only match I really wanted to see was Undertaker. And that was it. I didn't really give a fuck about Roman Reigns. And he won the title, but I do like Triple H. So I was like, okay, I'll watch and see Triple H. I know he's gonna lose, but I really hope, you know, Triple H would beat the shit out of him, which he kind of did, and it kind of sucked, like the way they ended the match. But whatever, you know, that's just a storyline. But I mean, they got me fucking watching and getting me interested.
I think that's the ultimate goal, though, is like, how are you going to grab?
I think viewers are viewers. Yeah. They don't care if you go for them or not. Viewers are viewers. If you're there to see them fail, or you're there to actually see them, you know, succeed, it's you're a viewer. It doesn't matter to them. So, you know, you could say it was a good thing or a bad thing, but
in the end, it's still a numbers game to them. Like, how many viewers tuned in and actually locked into the entire. I mean, we watched the entire thing.
Exactly. Yeah, it was all fucking 5 hours.
We're part of those fucking numbers. Yeah, dude, I thought it was only going to be a 3-hour fucking show.
They used to be that. And I was shocked that. Look, I literally got a fucking tire change and drove to my house and still saw the matches.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, like it's already 8 o'clock and the main event was barely starting. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that thing with The Rock too just got stretched so much.
That was actually okay. That's the other thing that I'm like, okay, John Cena made an appearance, basically came back, but he did not look in great shape.
No,
he did not look like the John Cena that we're used to watching.
Supposedly he's a trainer right now or something.
I think, but I don't know if he took time off just to heal. He took personal time off.
Isn't he retired? He's not actually retired. I mean, I know retirement is a fucking, nonsensical word in the WWE
right, but
universe.
No, he's not retired, but the whole thing is because you know how he's dating Brie Bella.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then she had a really serious neck injury.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he took time off to take care of her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I'm almost positive that's what happened. But now that she's mobile and she can kind of move around, he's like, okay, now it's time for me to go back to work. He was gone for like, kid you not, dude, almost half a year, dude.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna come back?
Well, he should come back. He needs to come back, and so does Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins, to me, and on all retrospect, dude, that's the guy, dude. He's the guy. But he tore his ACL, dude.
Oh man,
that's what fucked up. Okay, and a business perspective, if I was Vince McMahon, Shane, Triple H, or Stephanie, I want this guy to heal as fast as possible, but make sure he's in tip-top shape to come back and just blast him, dude. Like, make him the superstar because he has the charisma, he has the look, he's fucking athletic as hell, dude. And he reminds me of, he's a combination of Shawn Michaels mixed with a little Eddie Guerrero and fucking with the finesse of Bret Hart, dude. That's how you know he has all these components, dude, to be, and he's good on the microphone.
What's his name again?
Seth Rollins. Yeah, he was the champ, dude. He's the one that when I went to Hell in the Cell last year, he came in and fucking cashed in, dude.
Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah,
actually, no, he cashed in at WrestleMania. I went to WrestleMania as well. In Hell in the Cell, he had another match, and I believe he won that one. I'm not sure. I think that's the one where he got injured. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Overall, I gave WrestleMania a B plus. I would have given it an A-, but the fact is, I don't know what the writing team was thinking, dude, but I did not want Roman Reigns to win the belt. I was hoping, okay, Triple H, the writers would be like, oh, this is what we're going to do. Triple H will keep the belt because we have plans further for another storyline. And I don't know if they make these decisions ahead of time or they do it on the go. That's the weird part.
Like, I don't know how I've heard is a little bit of both. Some things do go planned. Like
it's like you're playing fucking action figures with each other, dude. And this guy's gonna beat up this guy.
There is a plan for everything, but then it just changes because people's perspectives, change.
Yeah, like Brock Lesnar, dude. How do you explain that? Shit,
that was
dude?
A horrible match, dude.
Like, did he just not want to lose to Dean Ambrose or what?
No. I look. I think, right now WWE is looking for people to push to the top, and they have to rely on yes, like people like me want to see the old school wrestlers.
Right.
I was happy when Stone Cold came out, with Mick Foley and what's his name, the Heartbreak Kid. But you have to realize that now it's a different time. These people are old. They're not gonna take a beating. It's not everybody is The Rock who can stay in tip-top shape. That guy looks like he didn't age a single bit. I mean, Stone Cold came out.
He actually looks better than when he did.
Stone Cold came out and he looks like an old man. And you're like, oh my God. But same with Mick Foley. You're like, oh, look, he's not going to wrestle. But that's cool that he came out. But The Rock just looked amazing. I
Even
was like, oh my God.
even HBK looked good, dude.
Yeah, he did.
Like, wow.
Yeah, but so I think what happened was they came to Brock Lesnar because Brock Lesnar pretty much does whatever the hell he wants because he is Brock Lesnar. That's why old school wrestlers like the Undertaker and everything else, they don't like him because he's not willing to take a loss for the company. Even the biggest man that everybody they call the shovel, which is Triple H, because he does not like to lose. He wins every single match that is big. He never, but even him, he has taken dives to help the career of other wrestlers.
Right.
If what's his name, that wrestled Brock Lesnar, if he would have won that match, if he would have made like a really memorable win against Brock Lesnar, oh, he would have been a great, a giant star. But he would have just, overshadowed Brock Lesnar completely. And I think that's what Brock Lesnar can't take.
Which is funny because last year at WrestleMania, he fucking beat The Undertaker and ended his fucking streak.
Yeah.
And I was there when it happened, so I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and that was another loophole. Like, nobody knows why that happened.
Right.
It was going to happen, and then it wasn't supposed to happen. And then, but The Undertaker, the Undertaker is a guy that was willing to work with the company.
Exactly.
That's why everybody loves him. Because he's willing to take a dive. If that's going to help you in your career, he's like, fuck it, I'll take a loss. I don't care.
Yeah, that's why he has a lot of bone to pick with Brock Lesnar.
Exactly, because he's not willing to do that. And yesterday was just proved it. I even told you, it's like if Brock Lesnar wins, he changed. He's an actual company man. He's willing to work with everybody, which he didn't. It was a pathetic match, and everybody forgot about it. And now
all he keeps doing is a stupid German suplex, dude. It's like, all right, dude, you don't have another fucking move?
Yeah, exactly. And that's all. That's all he does. He comes out and he does that thing, and that's his only move.
Yeah, but when he was first wrestling, he had a bunch of other moves, dude. He even attempted I think if it was a 5-star splash from the top rope at WrestleMania against Kurt Angle, and he nearly killed himself by landing on his fucking face.
Yeah.
Because he missed it. Yeah. But he still fucking won the match, dude. But anyway, I don't know, dude. I gave it a B plus. What did you give it?
I would say, yeah, it was around the B. There could have been a couple things that they should have cut, but they didn't, and it was just extremely long.
Yeah, dude, 4 hours for whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's WrestleMania, but come on.
I mean, if I was getting paid to fucking watch it, then I wouldn't complain, especially since the minimum wage is going to be $15 an hour now.
Well, let's hope so.
Now that we're jumping topic here, like...
yeah, we got to leave wrestling for a little bit.
Yeah, so this whole California minimum wage thing, dude. How... When? No, we know when, but how and why? What do you think, dude? You think we're in for? Here's what I think before anything. I think we're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't want that to go up, dude. Seriously. Right,
but it's one of those things that sounds like a good idea in paper, but if you really think about it, it could ruin a lot of companies, especially like small time companies that can't afford to make that jump. From what is it right now? 9 something to 15.
Yeah.
When that
because it was the minimum wage was expected to increase to $10.50 an hour next year on January 1st for businesses with 26 or more employees.
Right.
And then the minimum wage would then rise each year until it reaches $15 per hour in 2022.
Right.
All right. That's going to fucking inflate the fuck out of our economy, dude.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
Completely. It's like, okay, well, I never understood the purpose of minimum wage. I'm sure it's just the whole thing was to work for less, blah blah blah. Just to start off, kind of get a concept of what the value of the dollar is, yada yada yada. That's what I think. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
yeah, it also helps to, it helps in a lot of businesses too, because, if it were up to certain companies or certain jobs, a lot of people would get paid way less.
Right.
Just because it wasn't legal. We would kind of be in the same situation that Mexico's in, there's people that do like the same amount of job that they do here in Mexico. You get paid way less because there's actually like they're not going to get penalized. They're not going to get anything. There's no actually like rule to set for like the minimum wage.
Right.
So, it kind of does help, but going to 15 and like a giant jump like that, like, I don't know, you said it's going to inflate the crap out of everything.
I remember, I think it was when, I think is when I first found out, when I first got my first $13 an hour job or something like that. Wow. I'm like, oh, cool. It was a mere $4 or $5 at the time over minimum wage. I'm like, all right, cool. I thought it was fucking Rockefeller for a second there, dude.
Right.
I thought it was Carl Slim. But then I found out, I'm like, okay, like a lot of this money has, that saying more money, more problems.
Yeah.
Oh, and I understand. I see why. Well,
it's true.
First and foremost, I mean, you begin spending lavishly on things that, quite frankly, you really don't need. And then you adapt a lifestyle because you have that money. Yeah. And you totally forget about your priorities. And that's not even me being young. That's me being in my mid-20s.
Right.
And what wound up happening was I got a court summons that they were going to garnish my wages. Oh. Because of Sally Mae loans that went fucking in default. So, Uncle Sam wants his money. So they were taking an additional 15% out of each paycheck until the whole entire amount was paid. So I saw a dramatic decrease in my paychecks, dude. And on top of that, like I was earning commission on top of my hourly paychecks when I was working for Singular Wireless. Remember that company?
Oh, yeah.
And the paychecks were great, dude, up until AT&T bought them out. Then the pay scale fucking changed. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. Somewhat of a lesson learned, because I still don't consider myself to be the best financial fucking manager, especially of my own money. But I'm better than I was before, because I didn't have so many bills to pay before. And now that I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, I kind of have an idea of what not to spend my money on. Right. The only thing, like, truthfully, dude, everyone's like, oh, because you drink, most of your money goes to that. I've done the math, literally. I've looked at my account statement. There's only 1 year that I probably spent a lot of money on alcohol, and it's because I would go out to bars and drink. You know how expensive it is at bars, dude?
Yeah, it is.
And I would go a lot. This is the lifestyle that I was telling you I was beginning to adapt because I had the money. Right. And that was in Alhambra. When I was literally, dude, I was a Tuesday through Sunday Havana House regular, and I used to smoke cigarettes every day. So yeah, that year it was 2006, dude. That was the only year. Now and then I look forward now, and I'm like, I'm lucky if I even spend like a mere $50 at a bar. And that's because I know the food's expensive, and you're probably going to spend like $11 on a pitcher of beer, or even if it's a mixed cocktail, you're probably paying like $8 to $9, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And forget about ordering a shot of whatever liquor. That's gonna be like an additional $15.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm like,
and then if you find like a hot girl you want to buy a drink, that's another extra money.
shit. That's what you have. You have them buy you drinks at her.
Ugh.
It's the 21st century. God damn it. You're like, give me a drink, bitch. Now, give me 2. What are you gonna do for me? Nothing. I'm gonna get drunk in front of you and throw up in the bathroom.
I wish I could just show up anywhere and have people buy me drinks.
Just magically just show up. Hey, Eder. Bam. There you go.
It's like show a little skin and get just boost all night.
Not even skin. You just show like your wrist. And then magically a beer just appears in front of you.
Right.
Chilled to the bone with a perfect like 1-inch head of beer. And then a shot of your choice with a coaster with your face on it.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, dude, like, okay, that my point being is, okay, you have to learn to live within your means. That's how where my mom lives in East LA, you see people living like in 1-bedroom apartments driving an Escalade.
Yeah.
Over here in San Gabriel Valley, you see all the Asian community. They have beautiful fucking homes, but look at the kind of car they drive sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's how they have it down correctly, man. That's why they're bringing their money over here. And that's why, quite frankly, they took over Hollywood.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. The only reason why they're like, oh, they're knocking down the House of Blues because they're going to rebuild it or relocate it. Like, bullshit, dude. That whole strip is going to get converted into Little New York, watch.
Yeah, it is.
I just wait and see. That's what's going to happen. But no one believes me. I'm like, all right. I said the same shit about the fucking Key Club. And no one believed me. Now what is it? It's a hip hop club called One Oak or some shit.
Yeah.
But maybe they're hiring security at $15 an hour.
I doubt it.
But dude, everything's going to go up. Everything. The bus fares, the Uber rides, what else? The food.
I mean, I don't know if Uber will go up because the problem with that is like it's completely different until it's actually like regulated.
Right.
Because right now it's not regulated. It's like they just pretty much the companies do whatever the hell they want.
And depending on who the next president is, how much taxes you're going to pay on top of that.
Yeah.
Like if we have Bernie Sanders get elected, I mean, he's a democratic socialist. So we're going to have a democratic socialist system, which everyone knows, dude, is no secret. We've had democratic socialist programs for the longest fucking time, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's like, okay, he gets into office. Perfect. You think things are really going to change that much?
No, it's going to be like when Barack Obama had to mop up the mess that fucking, what's the monkey looking guy? George Bush.
Yeah.
Oh, which is George W, right?
Yeah, George.
He's the son, whatever. Yeah, fuck that guy. I couldn't stand him to begin with. I don't know why. I remember that election. I smelled bullshit from the beginning, dude. And the reason why is because it makes sense now. Why? Because he was running against Al Gore. Was it 2000? And
yeah.
Remember that stupid count? I think were you here already in the States?
Yeah, I was here.
Fucking Al Gore, George W. Bush, the state of Florida needed a recount. His brother Jeb Bush was the governor of fucking Florida. Now it makes sense. And that jackass tried to run for president this year, didn't make it. That's what you get, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was so funny that he tried to go for that. After his dad and his brother did it, and he had zero success. Like he was just struggling the whole time. nobody wanted anything to do with him.
Right.
Yeah.
I just don't see, like, I still have a lot of friends. They have so much faith and confidence in this system of voting. They're convinced that this is the only way that we elect our officials. I don't think so, dude.
No, it's not.
That's what they're called, super delegates, dude. What are we?
Yeah.
You know, you know who the super delegates are, man. Come on, dude. They have more money than we do. They have more money than me, you, and probably the whole block combined. Come on, dude. Really? And not to mention, like, you know, the Rothschild family, the Rockefeller family. Come on, that's the alpha and the omega of this country, man.
Yeah, there's no way the common man elects a president. Even if we do, I mean, there's so many checks and balances that there's no way anything that they said that they were going to do is ever going to happen.
Right, exactly. And
you know,
the only color they see is green, dude. That's the only color they see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the main thing that moves the world around. It's just money.
Yep. And then there's this fucking asshat that's still running. I don't know why. This fool fucking Donald Trump. And dude, okay, they raised the fucking California minimum wage to $15 an hour. Imagine this motherfucker gets elected. What's gonna happen? He's probably just gonna drop it down or some shit.
Well, I don't think you could just drop it down because that's only a state thing.
I'm just in a hypothetical scenario. So, he would be such an asshat that he would do something stupid like that.
That's another thing. Even if he does get into the office, there is no fucking way that everything he says and does is ever gonna happen.
Exactly. Well, like every other politician that we've had, and people like to argue that Barack Obama delivered on a lot of his promises, but look, I don't care what president.
He's still trying to close Guantanamo now. It's like last minute, you know.
Not all of them are going to
last minute, you know. Yeah, it's not going to happen. You know, 2-minute warning bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
That's like saying, "Oh, I'm going to promote my next mixtape by directly messaging every single one of my 2,246 Facebook friends."
Exactly.
And personalized message.
I had 8 years to do this. I'm gonna do it in the last couple of months.
But first, I'm gonna go on vacation.
Come on, dude. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I'm just gonna go hit up Cuba for a little bit. Yep. And just chill over there while, you know, airports get bombed and shit like that. I'm just gonna go chill over there.
And that's another fucking thing. I mean, I know we're talking about the state minimum wage, but like, all right, on a global scale, I'm like, if that's one thing we have to worry about is $15 an hour in California, I'm like, who cares, dude? Like, now that I'm bringing up this next subject is the fucking Panama Papers, dude.
Yeah.
Right now I know, okay, they had to hire 400 investigative journalists to go through all this shit. I was reading the Vice. By the way, if you guys want to, for you guys listening, if you guys want to look at the article, it's on Vice.com, and it's the why you should care about Panama Papers, Mossack Fonseca. You got.
I'm pretty sure both of our sources are majority from Vice, because right now I don't really watch the news. I get a lot of the stuff I read from Al Jazeera and Vice.
Well, Al Jazeera and Vice are two of, in my opinion, are the most, I guess you could call them bipartisan views, dude, because they think that everyone's pretty much crazy. They just want to make sense out of it and find a solution. But they can't find a solution because they don't even know what to do. The people that unveiled the problem don't even know what to do, like the whole climate change thing.
But look, actually, like Al Jazeera actually does something about it. You know, whenever something happens that's like worldwide, instead of tuning into CNN, I go straight into Al Jazeera.
Well, yeah, look what happened this weekend, dude. Look what happened yesterday. You saw what happened yesterday at the CNN building in LA, dude, on Sunset.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people with posters.
Yeah,
Like,
and guess
who
what?
knows?
No coverage, dude. I didn't see not
No
one
coverage.
fucking.
Yeah.
I think I might have seen like a screenshot or a preview, but no, there was no coverage, dude.
Yeah. If you go anywhere else, BBC News, Al Jazeera, and Vice, they're the ones that cover it.
Yup. I don't know how
You know?
Vice gets away with a lot of the shit they do, man. But like, okay, the Panama Papers, for example.
Yeah, so let's go back to that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it took almost a year for all these journalists to really fucking just uncover the shit. And according to Vice is a source, it was 11.5 million leaked documents. That's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
That basically detailed the inner workings of Mossack Fonseca. So for those of you who don't know, Mossack Fonseca is a law firm accused of helping drug lords, sports stars, Ponzi schemers, kings, presidents, prime ministers, check this one out, FIFA officials,
Of course.
mafia members, high profile thieves, high ranking politicians, I'm sure there's some Americans in there, and at least one convicted sex offender launder money, evade taxes, and escape criminal prosecution. That is fucking dirty.
Yeah. This is being called the biggest leak of information ever of any journalism, anything, everywhere. Even what's his name? Soden said the same thing. He's like, this is insane. This is just like opening the lid on everything.
Yup.
And a bunch of names are just on there. It's insane just to go through. People are from like Jackie Chan to stars to just you name it. They have money. They're probably somewhere in there. And I love that, like, some of the people that they've actually, some, of course, the big headliners, which is usually like politicians and stuff like that, from like, the UK and Australia, and that usually that as of now they've told, your name is on this. They're like, oh, I don't know, I just gave my money to somebody and they did whatever, whatever they wanted with it, and I have no clue. I have no control over my money. It's like bullshit.
Dude, but okay, was it Mossack Fonseca has 33 of its clients that have been blacklisted by the U.S. government for allegedly doing business with Mexican drug lords, terrorist organizations, and rogue nations like North Korea and Iran. And it also reads that its files have unearthed a secret, shady $2 billion trail of money that leads to fucking Vladimir Putin, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah, they Vice covered, what was it, a $1 transaction that ended up being like a multi-million-dollar transaction by the end. By the time they got done with all the money laundering that was going on. Of course, by the time it got to him, or who knows if it really got to him, it's it changes names, it changes different bank accounts and stuff like that, so it can't really be linked to him. But it's like the majority of it's the people that he really trusts and are just all around him. Dude,
so ultimately everyone's asking like, okay, well, what does this have to do with me? Who gives a shit? It goes on to say that if you live in one of the 200 countries and territories that Mossack Fonseca's clients call home, and given the fact that you're reading this article, you probably do, which is also reads, the story of the Panama Papers is your story because the law firm helps to hide money that should be used to pay for schools, highways, and hospitals. The criminals it works with run the most violent illegal organizations your countries have ever seen. And then politicians who have made bribes, dodged taxes, and amassed fortunes of unimaginable scales are your politicians. This makes sense. You know why? Look what happened in the city of Bell, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised. And dude, this shit it's hit home, dude. It's hit home for us on a
it doesn't matter
scale.
It doesn't matter where you live. If you pretty much know me or know you, it affects you any way, shape, or form. Even if you can say like, oh, this is just billionaires. You know, billionaires do shady shit and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but it's all tax break shit.
Yep.
It's all tax money. If you and I pay taxes, it has to go to the roads, to schools, to, you know, public services. And these people have found a way to work themselves around it, which of course, you know, if you are rich, you will find a way to, you know, find tax breaks with whether it's these guys or you know, giving money to a church that doesn't exist, or, you know, you decide to build your own church that doesn't exist. And, you know, you just launder money that way. It still affects you.
I'm wondering if that fucker Joel Osteen is on that list, man. I'm pretty sure he is.
My favorite one is Peña Nieto.
Oh my God. Are you fucking serious?
Yes, he is in there.
Peña
they say
Nieto?
they say that he has I don't know the exact like depth into it, because again, all this is just hitting and everybody's just trying to look through it. You know, like you look through, you know, presents on Christmas Day. You're just trying to find the ones with your name and the ones that affect you. So Peña Nieto has been linked to multiple people that are on that name. He himself, I think he's what's it called? He's been pointed to hiding like $100 million, you know, in one of these, you know, non-existent companies. My favorite one was that. And I saw this a little bit when I was in Mexico last year. Him and his wife, they built this giant fucking house that's like, I think it's priced around $7 million.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it is insane what this. I mean, this house, and you know, by the fucking name, they called it, you know, the Casa Blanca,
right?
The White House,
right?
Because it is the house is white, you know, sadly, or, you know, whatever you want to link it to the U.S., you know, White House, but it is one of the most high tech houses you could ever find anywhere. They spend so much money on this fucking house. They were showing pictures of just the inside of the house. The inside of the house has the living room, at least from what I saw and I can remember, has this like crazy lighting system that is all LEDs throughout the whole house.
What the
reason the house is wide is because you can change the color of each room by changing these LEDs, which, you know, the light bounces off the white and it just changes the color of the whole room. And this is throughout the whole fucking house. That
is fucking insane.
You can have it change, you know, if you can have one of those, you know, sunrise, sunset type of things, and, you know, have it a little warmer as the sun sets, and, you know, have it a little colder as the sun rises. And it's just insane the amount of money that this fucking thing cost. So one of the companies that is linked to this, Peña Nieto paid $7 million just for the property for this place.
What?
So just for the property is a $7 million purchase from this company that the government gave, the Mexican government gave a contract that is priced around $3.75 billion.
What the fuck?
To make a super fast, a high speed train, pretty much like in the city.
That is bizarre.
And also like another project that is involved with, you know, with the train system, because if you've never been to Mexico, they have a lot of subways, and a lot of the transportation over there relies on the subways. So they're trying to extend lines of the subway line. One of the lines that was extended I actually was on this line when I visited Mexico, and it looks brand new. Like, you know, the train looks freaking brand new. All the stations, they look all fancy and stuff like that. The problem is that this fucking company shortcutted a lot of fucking construction to the rail, to the rail system itself. They keep having problems. This project, I think, was supposed to be built 2 years ago, and when I went there, which was last year, the stations haven't even completed the whole project. You had to get off one of the last stops and just pretty much like take a bus to the next 3 other stops that were supposedly built, because they had like all these issues with them. So they shortcutted everything, and they hid money. So the Mexican government tried to investigate them, and they couldn't find where the money went. Thanks to the fucking Panama Papers, all the fucking money laundering.
Fucking grew legs and walked away.
Yep, it's like this is where all the money has been.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah.
Shady ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, because they were saying, La Casa Blanca was funded by, his wife, Angelica Rivera.
What the fuck?
Which, she's an actress.
Right.
So they said, this $7 million house, she bought it with actress money. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like even actors from here are like, what acting is she doing that she makes that much amount of money in Mexico?
Fuck. Well, yeah, you saw what happened. Well, speaking of him, you said he's in the Panama Papers, right?
Yeah, he is.
So it was his favorite contractor hid $100 million is what I'm looking at.
Yeah. And it was that guy.
Oh my God, dude.
It was the guy they used for the house. It was the guy they used for the high-speed rail. And of course, they're all buddies, and they just disappear money.
This is the biggest fucking tax scandal, dude, of all time, dude.
The only, I guess you can say, good or bad thing about this is that I think in the majority of these countries, the main thing that everybody follows the rule on is paying taxes.
Wow, man.
And, they are ruthless when it comes to paying taxes. So let's hope, Mexico does something about it. The US is going to do something about whatever people they have. The UK is. FIFA just became even the most shittier fucking sports company ever.
Wow, man. Yeah.
It's insane.
No era penal, bro.
Yeah.
We're on day, I don't know, 400 or whatever. I still complain about that.
Yeah. That is the least of the worries for FIFA.
No era penal.
Yeah.
No, and then to top it off, there was a lot of protests going on in Rio, in Brazil, because didn't they just build a brand new fucking stadium?
They build multiple stadiums in places that nobody is ever gonna go,
and everyone's fucking poor.
Yeah, they build a stadium like in the Amazon, where the only way you can get in there was like through a specific bus, and then like a plane or some crazy fucking shit like that. That now they don't use. It's just there, and it's just trash.
What?
They destroyed forests for it, and now it's just sitting there useless. Because nobody's going to use it, because there is no freaking way to get to it.
And that's the other thing. They're killing off a lot of the native Amazonians, right?
Yeah. They're just destroying the freaking forest there.
That is that is so fucked up, man.
And it's crazy how the countries that have the most I guess the essential things that the earth needs to live are in the worst political position, and all these people just get to do whatever the fuck they want.
Wow,
because
man.
At least whatever people say about the US, if we're shady, if they don't do things right, if we fuck other countries, whatever the hell you want to say, at least they protect their own country. At least, our parks are protected. If you go to a park, it's an actually nice experience, and not like other countries where you go and you think you're going to get robbed.
Right, exactly.
Or you see people just destroying
Honduras.
it.
Honduras is really bad, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can't even walk there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Honduras, El Salvador. Yeah, I know there's literally like third world countries where you can't even, if you're a tourist, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah, you got to be extremely careful. It's
Well,
not
then
like
there's
the
a wild
US,
card like fucking North Korea.
Yeah.
You saw what they did to the college student. They got sentenced to like 5 years hard labor for stealing a painting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's there for, and I heard the conditions that they put you under are not, they don't know how people survive those, dude. It's bad.
Yeah. At least from the little information that has leaked about that, yeah, they're fucking horrible prisons.
Man, dude. I don't. And then, okay, apparently, because I was reading the comment threads on some of the hashtags that were coming out on Facebook. Here's the thing. I don't just check Facebook. I check everything. Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. I even went on 4chan and read it. Just to make sure I'm getting the exact same information. And lo and behold, I'm not. Because a lot of Western journalists are protecting all the fucking 1%ers here that are leaked in the Panama Papers, dude. Isn't that some shit? And it just so happens that I think Hillary Clinton is in there. I remember, I don't know who said it, that something was gonna, was it anonymous? That something was gonna leak eventually that was gonna completely hinder her candidacy, dude.
Oh, did they say that?
I'm almost positive this is what it is. I don't know if it was them or somebody else, or Edward Snowden, it could be him. But dude, these papers, Panama Papers, have been a year in the works. They hired 400 fucking journalists to dissect all this shit.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is that the guy that leaked them, he didn't want any money. He didn't want anything for it. He just wanted to make sure that all the information was getting out, and it was getting out, like it was getting out correctly.
Right. I thought this whole shit started with fucking Edward Snowden, but now he's saying like, oh, this is next level shit. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, right now he's pretty much like incapacitated. He can't really do much. It was just shady what the US did to him. And now, he is, some people see him as the boys to go to when things like this happen.
Well, before it was Julian Assange, remember?
Yeah.
But he hosted a website that would welcome uploads or something like that. That was WikiLeaks, correct?
Yeah, that was WikiLeaks.
So he wasn't really doing any of the leaking. He was just sharing the files.
No, exactly. It was the same thing that happens with all these people that just have the website. That's the main thing that's going with Hillary. It's like, the US is putting on trial and putting a fucking target on these guys' heads when all they did was, they didn't really post anything themselves except for what's his name, Snowden. He actually, you could say that he actually did violate a couple of the I guess the policies that he signed when he went to work for the CIA.
Right.
But WikiLeaks was mainly just to post all this stuff that nobody was really doing anything about, in regards to the soldiers in Iraq.
Well, I heard that this shit was going on Kim.com's website too, but they kind of they snipped it early when Mega was first up and running and shit. But a lot of that data wasn't fit for that server or something like that. So that's when they discovered fucking WikiLeaks, and that's when, I don't know, I think Julian hired a bunch of developers and hackers to create a mobile, like on the go, like server/network, just so it was untraceable. So there was a lot of, I don't know how the fuck they did it, dude. I'm sure there was a lot of, you know, premeditation behind the whole fucking operation. But dude, okay, ever since then, from here on out, I have seen countless fucking whistleblowing, dude. I guess you could call it that.
Yeah, but I mean, the internet has helped with all of that. It's sad that, you know, places like 4chan, you know, WikiLeaks, and now slowly with the dark web, you know, they're starting to be more popular. So a lot of the people are starting to, like it's getting to be a lot more, I guess, like more out there that all these places exist.
Right.
In a way, it is good because there are some people, especially like with the dark web, there are some sketchy ass people that use it for, you know, ISIS uses it, pedophiles use it,
right?
You know? And there are some sketchy ass fucking people that use these websites, but there's also people that are trying to get information out, and all these websites are slowly disappearing because they're just becoming popular and easy to access.
Not to mention I guess the consciousness change is what I'm trying to point out here. And I know a lot of spiritual like mentors and metaphysics like professors and I guess instructors, I guess I could call them. They always rant about a consciousness change in not just society, our American society, but in the world. But they kind of make it seem like it's going to come in the form of, I don't know, water, earth, whatever the fuck they talk about. But conceptually it's true because with technology, but here's the thing. Okay. Say technology is the reason why the whole world kind of wakes up. Then what? Are we gonna revolt? Are we gonna, I don't know, fucking start building our own fucking houses with Lego sets and shit? Well, what's gonna happen? I don't know.
I mean, the good thing and the bad thing about this is that I guess certain people have a lot easier access to certain information, you know, that can actually do something about it. Which is, you know, the main thing why Anonymous was founded was hackers, and you don't have to be like a full-on hacker. You could just, you know, do your part by just showing up at the protest and stuff like that. So, and it helped make this community that leaked out information, and you knew it was right because we all checked our sources, and you know, you knew where it was coming from, and you knew that all this information is right. But there's also the side of people, I guess people that don't really know how to look for things online and don't really know how to fact check anything, just believe anything they see.
Right.
Which has, you know, just like, I don't know, but I think that in the past couple of years that the internet has been more accessible to pretty much everybody. A lot of more conspiracies have started coming out over like really stupid things. And it just sparks fucking crazy theories of these events that just happen. And, you know, just by looking at it, you could say, no, that's exactly what happened. It's just a bunch of ignorant people, you know, going into a building and shooting. But, you know, other people see this and they're like, oh, wait, no, this source that doesn't have any other source or any, you know, logic to their madness is telling me that this is a conspiracy because this and this and this and this makes sense, and it's somehow connected to JFK and the UFOs. It's like, what the fuck?
You're like, dude, you went from 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Which I've, you know, and I also hear from like doctors, doctors are having a lot of fucking problems with their patients because people just Google things and they're like, oh, I think I have this fucking disease. And,
yeah, the whole self-diagnosis thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you just go to the doctor and you just tell them like, oh, look, I have this and this and this, and the doctor's like, no, bitch, you need to do exam.
Like, no, bitch, your pussy just stank.
Yeah, it's like where Google doesn't hand out degrees on on self-medications.
I think fucking
two-sided blade.
It's the whole. I remember Tony Robbins. What did he call it? He called it the therapy. We're a therapy culture now, and he said this. What I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago, but it makes sense now because he called it. He said that technology is the very tool that's going to magnify everything, not change, but just magnify everything that goes on in our world. Dude, and he hit the nail on the fucking head, dude, because look what happened with Arab Spring. Look at all the shit happening now in Crimea, fucking Syria. We made it to North Korea with the Vice team. Well, I don't know if it was I think it was Shane Smith that really did it in first, right? He actually he went balls out and then went by himself or some shit, just with his crew.
Yeah. If I'm getting this wrong, I hope somebody fucking corrects me, because I think the way that it started, it's Shane had always had this fascination with North Korea.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get in there and like really investigate like what the hell was happening, because up to that point there hasn't really been, and of course from all the people that have managed to escape, which has been, it hasn't been a lot. There really haven't been stories about what actually is happening in North Korea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what he did was he found this place, this like some woods in Russia, because he was able to get in contact with the Russian mafia that actually liked him and protected him.
Wow.
So yeah, it's this little piece of forest in Siberia, and if you look it up online, it's the video somewhere on YouTube. So apparently North Korea had this patch of land in the middle of the Siberian forest that was their own, that they owned, and they transported slaves from North Korea to be lumberjacks in this area.
What?
In order for these people to not have a culture shock that they weren't in Korea anymore, that they were in this other fucking part of the world,
right? They
decided to build like buildings and stuff like that look just like North Korea. You've seen those pictures of the murals that they have of, the great king and the great leader and his family, and, that he was born in a fucking mountain and, next to a leprechaun and a fucking, a ray of sunlight. So they had all these crazy murals posted out throughout the camp. So he went there and got to interview a couple of these people. And they told them, these people, they told them, we're not getting paid to work here. We're getting paid. I think it was like a ridiculous low amount that they were supposedly getting paid. Cent. Yeah, it was some ridiculous low amount of money that eventually they got taken away. But all these people were there because and they knew this, if they left that camp, their families back in North Korea, they were going to be killed. So they had to be there and work for free, 24 hours or however many hours they decided to work there. And Shane was there doing the interview when it just so happened that Kim Jong-il was going to visit the area.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So, of course, with that, there was super security all over the place. And he was just able to manage to jump back into, the Russian mafia was able to transport him into China, because North Korea and China don't get along at all. So the
I thought
Russians
they were allies or some shit.
no,
No?
the Chinese hate the fucking North Koreans. Yeah.
What?
That's our only blessing, that if we do end up going to war with them, China's going to jump in there because they fucking hate them.
Wow.
Yeah, so this sounds like a crazy fucking made up story, but look it up. I'm pretty sure that 90% of what I'm telling you is true. He got so the Russian mafia transported him, smuggled Shane into China just so he could get away from Kim Jong-il.
What the fuck?
And of course the report got out. And after that, he was just like super fascinated. He said, you know what? I need to get in this fucking country. I need to find out what's really going on. And that's when the whole thing with Dennis Rodman came up. You know, he funded the whole trip, and you know, because apparently Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un and all the Kim Jong's family are extremely fascinated with basketball players.
Yeah, that hence fucking
Dennis Rodman. Yeah, because he was from the Bulls. Their major fucking god, or their major fucking thing, which they have never been able to get, has been Michael Jordan. So Shane went to Michael Jordan, asked him if he would do this, and he said no fucking way. And of course, then Dennis Rodman, being the crazy fucking asshole that he is, he's like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it."
He's like, "Oh, you have to do it right now." You know, one day, and then he had that crazy CNN interview.
Yeah, exactly, and that just like helped him with his ego, and and just turned him into.
He admitted that he was loaded during that interview. I'm like, "Yep."
He fucking just looks like.
I don't even think you were loaded when you were over in North Korea talking to the great leader, risking your fucking life. The great leader. The great leader.
But that was insane. If you guys want to see some crazy shit from North Korea, Google that up and look up that episode. It's insane.
Well, fuck, man, this is pretty sweet. We'll do it again. For those of you who missed like the first hour and a half, this is the Ed Namrok podcast. I am your host, Ed Namrok. Mr. Eder Vazquez, aka Nuclear Sound, also on the panel on the dildo mic, because he has a custom dildo mic. We'll see you guys soon. This is first of many, of course.
It's real.
All right, see you guys next time.
All right.